All right. All right. We are live. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy you guys are here for the Harder to Kill webcast. I've been preparing for this all day, and I'm very excited. And I'll get into some of the introductory remarks in just a second. But the first thing I want to share is that I'm happy and I'm grateful that you're here, and I'm excited to serve you. The information I have to share today is based on some tremendous research that's going to help all of us simply and practically live healthier, especially during these times right now when things like COVID, et cetera, are making it so important that we take care of our health. So I want to make you the promise before I go into the introductions. My promise is this. You watch this webcast, you stay here with me, and over the next 30 minutes, I promise to make you harder to kill. And that is a phrase we've been using because it sounds, interesting, et cetera. But I think the most important thing is that this is about your health, and these are about simple and practical ways to help you live healthier. And whether it's COVID-19 that's coming around, or heart disease, or diabetes, or any of the other health issues, the 5 things I'm going to show you in today's presentation are going to help you fix that. And particularly, we're going to be focusing on the immune system. What can you do to have a high, healthy, vibrant immune system? And we're also going to talk about some weight loss stuff, which is so vital and important to everything we do at the Fit Father Project. So if we have not met before, my name is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi. My team and I, we run the Fit Father Project and the Fit Mother Project. We're on a mission to help busy moms and dads all around the world lose weight and live healthier for both themselves and their families. And we've helped tens of thousands of people through our online programs. Obviously, we have our YouTube channel and our Facebook pages, our email list. And with all that, we regularly communicate with over 500,000 people around the world. And we're so grateful for that. And the reason this topic hits so close to home for me is because growing up, I watched my own dad get sick, neglect his health, and he eventually got so sick that he died at 42 years young. And I know there's a lot of people watching this webcast who have families, who have responsibilities, and who know that their health is not as good as it could be. And so that's why this webcast is essential, because I'm going to help you start to get on the right foot with your health and show you some simple and practical things you can do with yourself and your family to live healthier. And because we chose to call this Harder to Kill, I think we need to open up our discussion with the idea of what kills men. And the statistics are very clear. 50% of deaths of men over 40 come from 2 things: heart disease and cancer. That is 50% of the ways that men die. The rest of that is unintentional injuries, respiratory diseases like pneumonia, strokes, diabetes, Alzheimer's. Those things, cancer, heart disease, injuries, pneumonia, Alzheimer's, stroke, diabetes, 75% of the way men die. And so if we can address these things at their root, if we can get the body healthy from the inside out, we can make ourselves have the kind of longevity that enables us to be around for our families, to have incredible lives, to have energy to pursue our passions and our hobbies, et cetera. And so this is what is so exciting to me is we actually know how to do this. But I want to talk about right now what's going on in the world. We have COVID-19 is on the mind. And particularly, I live in Arizona in the United States. And here in the USA, we have over 600,000 cases right now. And I don't necessarily want to get into the politics surrounding COVID, about what stats are true, if we should have shut down the country, all these things, because there's a lot of aspects to this beyond just the health stuff. But I want to talk about the fact that we do have a virus that's going around. It's obviously contagious. 600,000 cases in the USA, millions of cases around the world. And in New York and New Jersey in particular has been heavily slammed. I mean, they have 250,000 of those 600,000 cases with around 12,000 deaths at the time of shooting this. And the reason this is very interesting and so important for us right now is we actually just completed the largest data review we have so far of COVID-19 cases. It was just published this week. They looked at everyone in the USA and New York in particular who got sick, and they were looking at what are the risk factors for people getting critically ill and going on to have severe illness and potentially death. And you know what? They found 2 things: age and obesity. The 2 factors that predicted the severity of COVID infections: age, obesity. Age makes sense because as we get older, our immune system gets less good. It just gets old with us. And that's why we're going to talk about 5 ways we can actually boost our immune system naturally. But the obesity part is so important because the vast majority of guys, before they find our Fit Father project, before they join our email list or our Fit Father 30X program, they're overweight. And I actually, in prep of this, I looked at the research from the NHANES, the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, and they found out that in the United States, 3 out of 4 men, 73.7%, were considered to be overweight and obese. So if you're over 40 and you're overweight, obese, you're absolutely in the high risk category. And now I'm not saying any of this to fearmonger, because it's a good chance that you may not ever get COVID. And I hope that for you. But the point is, COVID gives us all an opportunity right now to kind of wake up and be like, wow, health matters, especially in times like these. And a lot of guys who are hard-headed, sometimes it takes that first heart attack or a kick in the butt or a scare over a virus to start taking their health seriously. This is that chance that we all have right now. Hence why we have this Harder to Kill webcast. Hence why we're doing this. Hence why I'm going to teach you 5 ways to naturally boost your immune system. And I'm going to invite you to join us with the Fit Father Project too. So essentially, how do we become harder to kill? We get this body vessel healthier. We get rid of the weight. We get rid of the fat. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this presentation. But first, I want to really unpack the idea of why we're finding from these research studies that obesity is one of the number 1 risk factors for getting seriously ill with COVID. It's because being overweight is the enemy of being hard to kill. Obesity and having high levels of abdominal fat is a contributing, if not causative factor to all the comorbidities of COVID-19 deaths. Diabetes, heart disease. Being overweight affects every major organ system. It affects your heart and the lungs. A lot of people don't realize that when you're carrying excess weight, it actually makes your lungs less elastic. It actually makes it so that the oxygen you do breathe in doesn't diffuse as well through the lungs into the blood cells. And so that's why a lot of people who are overweight and aren't in good shape feel winded doing everyday activities, going up the stairs, tying your shoes. And most people chalk it up to saying, oh, my cardio is just not that good. Well, it's the fact that being overweight taxes your respiratory system. And we know that things like COVID are respiratory viruses, and we'll explain that in a little bit more. But it's also important to note that being overweight and obese makes you 10 times more likely to have type 2 diabetes or blood sugar problems, because excess fat on our bodies makes our cells resistant to this key hormone called insulin. So what happens is when our bodies are resistant to insulin, it leaves sugar in the blood. And guess what loves sugar in the blood? Cancers, bacterial infections. And also we're going to explain a little further down when we get into the 5 steps for boosting your immune system, how sugar itself deactivates the immune system and leads it so the white blood cells don't work as good. So when we're overweight and we have these blood sugar issues, we're not just at high risk for COVID, we're at high risk for all sorts of things. We also know that excess weight and fat affects your liver by building this fatty buildup in your liver, which makes your metabolism not work as well. When that fat accumulates around your organs, like your heart, like your liver, like your pancreas, it's this visceral fat that causes inflammation. And then your heart also has to work harder. And that oxygen exchange doesn't work as good, not to mention any digestive issues that happen, like the acid reflux, the gas and the bloating from not eating the right kinds of foods. And also being overweight affects your mental health and increases the risk of depression. So it is very clear to me when I see these new studies coming out from New York that being obese is probably the number 1 risk factor, along with age, of having serious issues with COVID. It makes sense because this is the kind of stuff that affects every system of your body. It's so pervasive, and I'm going to help you fix that. Like I've helped tens of thousands of guys through the Fit Father Project. We're going to get started on that today. And because when we look at this COVID stuff, again, whether or not you ever get infected, COVID-19 is not necessarily the problem. For a lot of guys, it's merely the straw that breaks the camel's back. All this stuff, all these issues were going on for a long time. Getting overweight, it doesn't happen overnight, as you may know if you're dealing with this right now. But COVID-19 is that tipping point where everything can get very bad very fast. And that's why it's a wake-up call for a lot of guys. Healthy people are at the lowest risk of COVID, period. Overweight and weaker people are at the highest risk. So let's help that. And before we get into the 5 ways to boost the immune system, we're going to go through each of them. I'm going to give you the research and specific recommendations and habits that you can start implementing into your life this week. I actually want to share some new understandings specifically for how COVID-19 works. A few weeks ago, when this stuff first happened, we did our first main live cast on Facebook, on YouTube, and we put together this long COVID guide. And in that guide, we were talking about how the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes the COVID-19 is this coronavirus. It's this spiky virus that gets into these ACE2 receptors in the lungs, and eventually it replicates so much that you get sick and that you get pneumonia, and then you need a ventilator. And that's what we kind of thought COVID was doing. Well, it turns out COVID doesn't do that. We're getting new understandings as COVID has progressed to the mechanisms, and this is going to tie into why it's so essential right now to get our lungs in particular healthy. What it turns out is what COVID actually does is causes your body to have low levels of oxygen. It doesn't necessarily cause frank pneumonia, where we thought it did, and we were putting a lot of people on ventilators because we were thinking their lungs aren't working, their lungs are filled with fluid and exudate, and we need to use mechanical ventilators, and everyone was worried about ventilator shortages. That's because we were approaching this like it was a pneumonia-causing virus. It doesn't necessarily do that. Pneumonia can happen secondary, but what we found is that people on ventilators were actually dying more frequently. And what we also find from the new research is that COVID actually binds to the iron proteins in your red blood cells and kicks off oxygen. So when we measure the oxygen in patients' blood with COVID-19, they have low blood oxygen because COVID is actually competing in the red blood cells with the hemoglobin groups and actually binding to them and kicking off oxygen. So COVID-19 illness is essentially low oxygen, hence why we need incredibly healthy lungs right now. And COVID also causes blood to clot more. In China, they did these retrospective studies of looking at all the people, and they measured their blood after the fact and how much clotting protein they had. And those who had COVID had like 6 times the amount of clotting protein because COVID interacts with those red blood cells. And that's why it also affects the heart and the kidneys and all these different places. So our lungs are essential right now. And COVID is putting the following systems of your body to the test: lungs, heart, liver, and your antioxidant system. And if you're interested in more of this research and you'd want to see where actually the links are to COVID on the oxygen and hemoglobin stuff, I can send that to you. But the first thing and the first key insight of this live webcast is to make you harder to kill, AKA to give you the kind of longevity and life and energy that you want. We need to get you moving towards your ideal weight. There is no more important time than today, not just to prevent COVID, but to live healthier in general. And I'm going to show you exactly what I've done to help over 30,000 guys through our Fit Father 30X program in over 100 countries to help them lose weight and get healthy for themselves and their families. And if you're interested in the program these guys use as well, you can type in Google as you're listening to this, hardertokillplan.com, hardertokillplan.com. That redirects to our page where you can check out Fit Father 30X. And here's the good news. We know that losing weight is essential for keeping you healthy in all these different organ systems. And the best part is that moderate weight loss, even 10% of weight loss, which is very achievable in 1 to 2 months, dramatically improves your heart health, your blood pressure, the function of your lungs. So a little bit of results in a short period of time goes a long way in terms of getting you healthier. And that is amazing news. And as we're getting into this, because we're just about to get into the 5 things to boost your immune system, I want you to think about, take these ideas of health like out of like the abstract right now and bring it down into your life. And I want you to ask yourself, why is it essential for you right now to live healthier? Who do you need to be healthy for? What do you want to be doing in the next 10, 20, 30 years? What do you want your body to look and feel like? We need to ask these questions because ultimately what happens with our health is it becomes a later issue for most guys. It's not enough of a bleeding neck problem that guys go on and take weight loss seriously because it's a later thing until that heart attack happens, until you get COVID, until these things actually really hit you like the screaming emergency. But I'm saying we do not have to get there. I want you to think about why health is so important to you as we're going through these steps. So right now, let's get into it. Let's simplify health. And let's talk about what you can do, the 5 things to get a strong immune system. And I want to approach this from a naturalistic standpoint to really make this super simple for you. And I want to ask you the question, what does a plant need to thrive? What does a plant need to thrive? It's a question we could pretty much ask any 3rd grader and they tell you these things. They tell you that a plant needs good soil. It needs water, it needs sunlight, and it needs fresh air. Those are the 4 things a plant needs. And it's important. And we all know this. So I want to ask you this next question is, what does a human body and the human immune system need to thrive? I'd say it's an incredibly important question for all of us to have an answer to. And most people don't have good answers. So we're going to go through that right now. The first thing that a human body and the immune system needs to thrive is high quality restorative sleep. Let me be very clear about this. There is not a single supplement or other thing that you could possibly put in your mouth in pill form, in injection form, etc., that is better for your immune system than getting high quality sleep. And on the converse, if you are not sleeping well, there is probably nothing more damaging for your immune system in general. And I'm going to read you some direct study quotes. Studies show that people who do not get quality sleep or enough sleep are more likely to get sick after being exposed to a virus, such as the common cold virus or coronaviruses. And lack of sleep also recovers how fast you recover if you do get sick. Because during sleep, your body releases cytokines. These are chemicals that your immune system actually uses to communicate. And it also, sleep increases your white blood cell counts. And we know when you're missing sleep, your cortisol levels are higher because your body is in a stress state. And when your body's in this fight or flight stress state, what's the one thing it wants to do? It wants to suppress your immune system because your body's saying, I have a now problem. We're immediately stressed. We don't need to worry about the immune system. So cortisol goes up, your immune system goes down. And then this happens every day for people. Bad sleep, high stress, low immune system. And studies have shown that you miss a night of sleep, it's pretty much equivalent to a night of binge drinking when it comes to your effects on your brain. You have foggy, you have headaches. Your brain actually is a buildup of metabolic toxins that are normally cleaned out when you sleep. Most people don't realize that when during sleep, your brain has a lymphatic system of vessels in your brain that actually cleans out metabolic waste. That happens when you sleep. If you miss that, you're missing that whole process. And that's also why poor sleep is linked to Alzheimer's disease, dementia. It increases your pain sensitivity, leads to cardiovascular problems. So sleep is essential. It is the pillar of our immune systems. And it's not surprising because it's the thing that all of us are essentially bound to do. While we're here as humans, we have a light cycle where we're up and doing stuff and a night cycle where we're sleeping and restoring. So we need to put sleep at the forefront of our health routines. And this is also why the research is showing that melatonin, the natural hormone that our brain releases to help us go to sleep and relax our bodies, actually helps fight COVID because it raises your immune system and actually exerts an anti-inflammatory effect in the lungs. This is also why children who get COVID don't have nearly as bad outcomes because they have higher natural levels of melatonin. So sleep is essential for your immune system in general, but also for your weight. When we miss a night of sleep, our body doesn't process carbs as well. We're more likely to gain weight. So all of this is so essential. So that's why sleep is the foundation. So it almost begs the question, how much sleep is enough? Well, it varies by person to person, but I would say a good general rule of thumb is 7 hours of quality sleep. And quality, you define that for you. But for me, it's like uninterrupted sleep where you wake up and you feel refreshed. And if you feel right now in your life that you're waking up and you're not refreshed, you're relying on coffee and stimulants to get you going, then your body is not in a proper circadian rhythm. Sleep is not going as well for you, and your immune system is not as good as it could be. This is more important than you taking vitamin C, than you worrying about some other stuff. Sleep is the pillar of good health. And that's also why inside our Fit Father 30X program, the program we use to help all those guys lose weight, we put a big emphasis on sleep and how to sleep deeper and wake up refreshed. We go over the evening routines. We can talk more about that in the Q&A at the end of this as well. I just wanted to let you know the first pillar that the human immune system needs is sleep. The second thing we need, just insofar as plants need soil, humans need the right fuel. We need the right food. And I'm going to give you a direct quote from a study from Duke University Medical School. Eat more fruits and vegetables to improve your immune system. 5 or more portions of fruits and veggies per day significantly increased antibody responses and white blood cell counts. Is that a shocker? Most of us know this. We need to eat the rainbow of all different kinds of fruits and veggies because the things that make fruits and vegetables colorful are actually the vitamins and antioxidants that our body needs. And I want to define this right now because a lot of people don't even know what a vitamin is. What a vitamin is something, an essential substance that our bodies need to grow or to function optimally. We need to get it from the outside world because we can't necessarily make it. Now, there are some exceptions, but some of the main immune boosting vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, are all found in the foods. Dark green leafy vegetables, citrus fruits, berries, certain nuts and seeds, broccoli, spinach, garlic, ginger. We need to eat more whole fruits and vegetables. Probably one of the most important things any of us can do right now And I'm going to show you how we get our Fit Father guys to do it. These are guys, a lot of them, who don't like veggies or have been in the habit of not eating good food for a lot of years. I'm going to show you simple ways to get these into your body in just a second. But before I do that, we want to talk about the converse of the fact that we need the right fuel, unprocessed fruits and vegetables. And I also want to add this in. High quality proteins are also phenomenal for your immune system, particularly fish that's high in zinc. Very good for your immune system as well. So that makes the list as well. But like these high quality foods are essential, and we need to avoid the wrong foods, especially for our immune system. I'm talking about packaged snacks, cookies, sugar, processed foods. High sugar, when we eat it, immediately decreases our immune system. This is a conclusion from a 2016 study from the American Journal of Medical Science. Acute hyperglycemia, aka high blood sugar, significantly alters the innate immune response to infection within 30 minutes of sugar consumption. And this immune suppression after eating sugar can last up to 5 hours. You eat sugar, your immune system is depressed almost immediately, and it lasts for 5 hours. So imagine what we have right now. Most people who are worried about having a high immune system are eating the wrong kinds of processed, low-quality foods that are suppressing their immune systems, and we're not sleeping well. We can see how the immune system is totally out of whack, and it's quite easy to fix. We know that sugar causes inflammation. We know that bacterial infections and many cancers thrive in high sugar environments, so we need to start eating healthier. And practically speaking, here are 3 things we have our Fit Father 30X program guys do at least one of these 3 things each day. The first thing is a morning protein shake with some berries, some protein powder, some spinach, some chia seeds, some hemp seeds. We have them get this morning protein shake. We have recipes inside our program, tons of them. They taste amazing, I promise you. But getting a morning shake with a lot of good nutrition, some of your fruits and veggies in there, you blend it up, it's convenient, it takes under 5 minutes, could be the best way to start your day. And you're starting your day investing in your immune system, as opposed to making mistakes with what guys eat in the morning, like pastries, cereals, sugary juices, breakfast crap, like, bagels and stuff like that. That's not going to help your immune system. Getting one of these high quality shakes first thing in the morning could be amazing. Throw some fruits you love in there, throw some veggies, throw some protein powder. Great. And if you join our Fit Father 30X program, again, you can type in hardertokillplan.com. That'll show you where that program is. We give you the recipes. But one thing is the shake. The second thing is 1 big serving of green veggies per day. This could be a salad with lunch. It could be a side of broccoli, asparagus, sauteed spinach, whatever it is for you with dinner. You have a protein, you have a side of veggies. 1 big side of veggies per day in one of your meals. So I said salad with protein on it for lunch, or veggies for dinner. And the third option is also using some fruit or vegetable snacks in the afternoon at around 3-4 p.m. as a little snack. Because a lot of guys, when it comes to nutrition, make the mistake of eating lunch at around noon or 1 and then not really eating anything good until dinner at 6 or 7. And during that 6-hour window, you're not feeding yourself with high quality food. Your blood sugar might be like this. You might be getting cranky. You turn to bad sugary snacks. Your immune system gets depressed. It's very easy to see how this cycle happens. And it's very easy to fix. We got to plan ahead. So you get the nuts, the seeds, the fruits. You put it in your car. You pack it in the morning before you leave, and you're set. You're getting the things your body needs to boost your immune system. And now, here at the Fit Father Project, if we're good at one thing, it's this: helping guys make nutrition and healthy eating simple, sustainable, and enjoyable. So it's not just about the foods, it's also about your meal timing and ensuring that you get a meal timing setup that works for your schedule. And that means whether you intermittent fast and you skip that first meal and you have breakfast/lunch at 11, a snack around 3, dinner at 6, 7. Or if you do our 4x4 meal planning setup where you have breakfast around 8, lunch at noon, a snack or 3 or 4, and dinner at around 7. We have different meal timing setups inside our programs. The key is to get you on a sustainable one. We'll talk more about that in the Q&A. And again, you could always visit hardertokillplan.com, and that'll show you where our Fit Father 30X program is. So far, we've covered the first 2 out of 5 things. Humans need sleep, and we need to eat the unprocessed fruits, vegetables, meats, fish, seafood, and get rid of the sugar. The third thing we need for our immune system is daily movement. There's no other way to say this other than the fact that the human body is not built to be sitting in a chair. We're not built to be sedentary. And over the long span of our human history, our ancestors, they were moving. Currently, a lot of us, we're sitting down in chairs, desk jobs, we're not moving enough. And if we look at the pockets of longevity around the world today, the places where people are consistently living to 100 years plus in good health, they all have active lives. They're not doing crazy exercise programs per se, but they're walking all the time. They're bending down, they're picking things up, they're farming, they're gardening, they're moving their bodies. Why is this essential? Because movement affects every single system that is necessary for good health. It affects your lungs. You're breathing more deeply through your nose. Your heart is pumping and getting the right kind of exercise, and your arteries are dilating. Your metabolisms and your muscles and your organs of calorie burning are getting fired up. Movement does all of that, and it also boosts your immune system on top of it. If you could bottle up daily movement as a pill and someone could sell it to you, it would be the best thing in the world. And what research finds is that walking boosts your immune system. A short 30-minute walk increases your white blood cell production. These are the cells that particularly fight viruses and bacteria. And it also increases the antibodies that fight viruses, even in your mouth and respiratory tract. So walking literally gives you a stronger immune system immediately. And when it comes to the longevity side of things, research from Harvard Medical School, they studied people. They put two people in groups and they saw how many steps that people took, how much they walked per day. And these were people in their 70s. And they found that those who walked 4,000 steps or more, which is equivalent to around 2 miles, got a boost of longevity compared to the other people who walked less. In fact, the study participants who walked 4,400 steps per day on average were about 40% less likely to die during the 4-year follow-up period than those who took 2,700 steps. That's less than around 1 mile. Movement is that important. And it's basically doubling your movement from like 1 mile to 2 miles per day of walking can be one of the best things you do for your healthier immune system. And notice I'm not even calling this exercise. I'm calling this daily movement. And it does not need to come in the form of you taking one 30-minute walk. It could be 3 10-minute walks after your meals. Just get your body moving. And if it motivates you, track your steps. We got to get you moving. So our FitFollow approach, what we do with our program members inside FitFollow 30X is they get 30 minutes of daily movements. And again, you can break this up in any way that you find is good for you. But I want you to think right now, when is the movement going to be best to fit into your schedule? Is it you get up immediately in the morning, you rehydrate, and you get out and walk? Is it after you have lunch, you walk? After dinner, maybe your family takes a walk. When are the times you can move your body? And all the small movement throughout the day adds up. So let's say you are working at an office and desk job. Well, you work for 50 minutes and 10 minutes on the hour, you get around and you walk. You maybe do some air squats, do some jumping jacks, whatever it is, you're accumulating movement towards your daily goal of 30 minutes, or I'd say 5,000 plus steps. That is the first thing in our FitFollow approach. And the second thing we do is we have these incredible 30-minute at-home workouts that are insanely effective. We essentially combine the best strength training exercises like push-ups, shoulder presses, rows, squats into a circuit that you can do in around 30 minutes that will boost your metabolism for up to 24 hours. So basically what we have our program members do is they do these workouts on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Basically spread it out. The days aren't important, but the fact is they get these little pulses of these formal workouts throughout the week, and their metabolism is constantly elevated. And this is exactly how we have guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s losing 100 plus pounds when they tried and failed for years, getting abs in their 60s, being able to run marathons for the first time in their life in their 70s. All of that's possible, but you need the proper plan and the structure. And again, my team and I, we can help you out that. The purpose of sharing this particular anecdote here is for you to understand how essential moving your body is for your immune system. So sleep, the right kinds of fuel, daily movement. The fourth thing we need for our immune system is sunshine and time outside. And I am not kidding about this. One of the most important vitamins you've probably heard a lot about for your immune system is vitamin D. And guess what? Our bodies have a natural relationship with the sun where we synthesize vitamin D through our skin when we get in contact with the sun. Like, just think about that for a second. And not enough people let that sink in. Is absolutely amazing. We are so in tune with the cycles of this planet that when we go outside and we get sun on our skin, our body makes vitamin D. And there are vitamin D receptors and activating enzymes on the surfaces of all your white blood cells that allow your white blood cells to fight viruses, to fight bacteria. Vitamin D3 is so critical for your immune system. That's why everyone's talking about supplementing. Well, guess what? The best supplement you can get for vitamin D3, it's called sunshine. Your body will make it naturally. You will not overdose on vitamin D3, and it's the perfectly active form that your body is biologically designed to use. So very essential that we spend some time outside. What I personally do is I'm making sure I'm getting around 20 minutes of sunshine before 1 o'clock when the sun's coming up. The rays aren't too harsh, getting sun on my skin. And guess what I'm also doing when I'm getting my sun? I'm taking a 30-minute walk. It's just, get two birds with one stone, I guess you could say. But point being, the vitamin D through the sun is absolutely essential, but it's not just about the vitamin D and the sunshine. When I said what we need is we need sunshine and time outside, it's also that we need to just be in nature. Humans, we require fresh air, and we require to be synced up with the light cycles of everything. So essentially, we are these biocircadian beings, and we get energized in the morning based on the light rising. And at night, when the light falls, we secrete melatonin and we get ready for bed. This is the natural cycle of our bodies. And it turns out that we also basically need time outside in nature. There's an actual study on something called forest bathing, taking a bath in the forest. But basically what it means is just taking a walk through the forest and enjoying nature. And what they find is it profoundly reduces the stress response, the heart rate, and the blood pressure. And time in nature also increases natural killer cells and anti-cancer proteins. I mean, it does make sense when you just think about it logically. We are built to be outside. It's only in the last 100 years that our lives have changed dramatically, where now the average American spends 93% of their life indoors and another 6% of their life basically in automobiles. We just do not spend enough time outside, and it's to our detriment. When you were growing up, you were probably playing in the dirt. You were probably outside all the time, riding bikes, playing tag, doing whatever. Well, that's the foundation of how you actually create a healthy immune system as a kid. You get out there, you get exposed to nature, you're outside, you're breathing the fresh air, you get in the sunshine. As adults, we somehow think that stuff's no longer important. It is just as important, if not even more important, particularly those of us in our 40s, 50s, and 60s who are looking at, I got to get my health back on track. Well, then my thing is spend some more time outside. Is that important? And number 5 on our list, covered some good stuff so far. Number 5 is we need to create a sense of purpose, connection, and direction in our lives to boost our immune systems. So many of us make the mistake of thinking that health is just this physical process. It is confined to this physical domain of the things we do with our exercise, the types of foods we eat. That is so far from the truth. We are mental, emotional, bioenergetic beings, and this body is one aspect of us. And our mental and emotional health plays a tremendous role on our immune system. We know that when you're depressed and you have major depression disorder or anxiety, your immune system is flat out weaker. The way your mood is, the way your emotional state is, dynamically affects your nervous system, dynamically affects your immune system. There's this constant interplay between our thoughts and what manifests in the body. Now, this is a field of research called psychoneuroimmunology. It's a fancy word that scientists made to say, look, we have a mind, emotions, spirit, and body, and all these things are co-creating the situation called health. And in fact, there's a psychiatrist from Harvard named Dr. Michael Craig Miller, who basically says that getting our bodies moving and spending time outside is one of the best interventions for depression. It's not necessarily taking medications. We have things we can do to naturally increase our immune system by just changing what our thoughts are, by creating more purpose and direction. And I also love this study from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. They examined people and they were giving a survey to people on their sense of purpose. And they asked them some questions, a series of questions specifically to indicate how happy and satisfied they were with their lives, how much they had a sense of direction, if they felt like they were contributing to society, and if they were challenged to grow and to become a better person. They asked people these questions, and then they took blood samples from them to measure gene expression and different immune proteins. And what they found is that those people who gave them responses saying they had the highest meaning-based happiness, meaning they had purpose in their life, they were happy, they had direction, those people had the highest genetic expression of a strong immune system. And on the converse, those that had lower happiness had lower immune systems. And those that were happy, but the happiness came from things like eating chips and more like hedonic pleasures as opposed to life purpose happiness, also had lower genetic expression for immune health. So the kind of happiness we need to cultivate is this purpose happiness. Some people find it through spirituality. Some people find it through their roles as parents. A lot of our Fit Father guys find it through their commitment to reinventing their health and putting health as a priority and making this a mission to move forward and live healthier. Point is, having purpose in your life is as important as anything on this list to boost your immune system. And guess what? We'll go back to those centenarians, the people who live to 100 plus. They have this amazing book out there called Blue Zones. A guy named Daniel Buettner basically scoured the world to see what we could learn from people who lived the longest. And what they found from the centenarians, the people who lived the longest, is that those people all had clear senses of purpose. In Japan, Okinawa, Japan, the centenarians there, they call it ikigai, which means purpose, the reason for being. In Costa Rica, the Nicoyans who live there, the centenarians, call it plan de vida, the purpose of life. We need to cultivate this. And the beautiful thing about, this whole experience of life is we can create purpose in every moment. And that's what we help guys do with the Fit Father Project. We help you find purpose in your life by taking your health back, by getting your energy back, by knowing that you can change. You are not over the hill. You just need the proper things. And guess what happens when you get this body functioning better? When you're doing the things we talked about on this list and you have a simple step-by-step plan and you're feeling better, your mindset's better. You're more focused at work. You're more productive and energized. You're a better spouse, a better parent. You feel happier because the mind and body are so linked. So in summary, honestly, and the way I came up with this list is I asked myself, as I'm going to be on this live with you right now, what are 5 things I can tell you to boost your immune system? It's sleep, proper fuel, daily movement, sunshine in nature, and purpose. There are not 5 more important things than that. Try to add something to the list. It does not take the cake. This is the natural living that our bodies are designed to do. And now this is the part where I want to help you. I specifically want to help you put this stuff into practice because let's be honest, information is great. You've probably heard some of the stuff on this list before, and you've probably tried some of this stuff, but information without implementation and action is useless. And we also know that the traditional approaches to living healthier are very challenging for most people. You've probably seen the statistics. 95% of people fail on diet and health programs. Well, the reality of the situation, based on all the people that we've helped at the Fit Father Project, is that 95% of the time, diets fail people because they're not addressing this whole holistic picture. And we have a process that's worked for literally tens of thousands of guys. And here it is. I'm going to lay it out for you, show you exactly what we do from day one when someone signs up on our Fit Father 30X program, all the way through success. When they lose all their weight, they get to their ideal weight and they get healthy and strong and muscular and energetic in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. The first thing we have them do is we have them write a mission statement on why it's essential right now that they get healthy. And the mission statement ends up looking like this. I, Anthony Balduzzi, in the next 30 days, am committed to losing 15 pounds by doing XYZ with my nutrition. We help you dial that in. Doing this with my exercise. And I know that these changes in my life are worth the cost of the investment of my time, my energy, and my money, because I know that it is essential for me right now to show up as the greatest version of myself for my kids, for my work, to get my health back so I don't follow in the footsteps of my father. Something like that is a mission statement that you create, and you find your deep reasons for why you want to be healthy and understand that your health is the foundation of everything you love. I saw my dad lose it. You lose your health, you lose everything you love. The whole rug gets ripped out right under you. Seeing a lot of people realizing that right now with this COVID stuff. So you write a mission statement and you get deeply committed, because the motivation and the mental side of this is the foundation of your energy to move forward and implement the health stuff. Second thing we do with you, we help you get your sleep fixed. Surprise, sleep is so essential for your metabolism, for your immune system. We talked about that. We get your sleep on point. And now this does not mean you're automatically sleeping 7 perfect hours. We have guys who drive trucks for the living. We have police officers and firefighters who work the third shift, the night shift. They can't sleep optimally, but we help you tune that up. And making small improvements leads to huge results. We get your sleep on point, and then we get you on a nutrition plan that's simple and sustainable, one that actually fits your schedule. So we have you give you the meal plan. You look at the meal timing schedule setups and you pick the one that works for you. And what that means, healthy and natural foods, fruits, vegetables, meats, all different kinds of things. And you can eat and lose weight consistently. Third thing we have you do is get that 30-minute of daily activity and get you started on our simple Fit Father workouts. We want you to join our program, obviously, because it's absolutely incredible and I know it can transform your life. We also have literally 300 different videos on our YouTube channels too. If you're watching this on YouTube, you check out those free workouts as well. We have tremendous amount of stuff. The key is simple exercise, 30-minute sessions, 3 times per week. That's all it takes to start boosting your immune system. And the final thing we do in our Fit Father 30X program is we connect you with our community and we keep you accountable. And this is probably the most important piece of all. So many people fall off track with diets and health programs and all the tips and advice we covered here because they do it alone. And it never works for people. And I'm going to read this quote. The American Society of Training and Development found that people are 65% more likely to meet a goal after committing to another person. So you join our Fit Father 30X program. You commit to me, you commit to yourself, you commit to your spouse. It becomes a real commitment and you write a mission statement. And get this, from that same study, the chances of success increase to 95% when you build an ongoing meeting and partners to check in on your progress. Well, guess what we do every day in your Fit Father 30X program? We email you, we check in. You're inside our private brotherhood group with guys alongside the programs. That's the magic. 4 steps, mission statement, tune up your sleep and nutrition, get you moving, 3 30-minute workouts per week in daily movement, and we connect you with our groups and with me and my team of coaches and trainers, and we keep you accountable. You do these 4 things, we hand you the plan, you follow through, you succeed. That's what worked for the guys. It's not rocket science, but it does require the structure. And I promise you this, there are a lot of guys right now who are watching this who will try to go it on their own and they'll get burned. Because quite frankly, sometimes we need to shake things up with a proper program to get on track. And I hope that this webcast served you. I hope that the 5 things we covered and some of the research inspired you to realize that health is accessible to each of us. It's right on our fingertips. It's with our sleep. It's with our fuel. It's with our movement. It's with our sunshine, our time in nature. Health is the gift that I believe God gave each of us. We just need to live our lives aligned with that. And we can help you do that. So whether it's us, whether you try a different kind of program, get plugged into something because health is that important. And now at this point, for the next 10 minutes or so, I know we covered a lot. What I recommend you do is you go in your web browser, you type in www.hardertokillplan.com. That will redirect you to our Fit Father 30X program. You can see case study success stories. You can get inspired. That is the perfect place to join us. And because we have all this stuff going on right now with COVID, we're looking at making our entire plan incredibly affordable. It's just $47. You get lifetime access. We will help you change your life forever. So at this point, that's that. I want to open it up to some Q&A and handle some questions about general health stuff, about COVID stuff, about immune boosting stuff, about Fit Father 30X. I am here for the next 10 to 15 minutes to go through your questions. So Paige, send me the first question.
What if I'm already showing symptoms of COVID-19? What should I do?
If you're already showing symptoms of COVID-19, need you to be taking your temperature regularly. Fluids, rest, vitamin C, zinc. What we know from the research right now, and I mean, this stuff is all unveiling so fast, is that zinc in particular is very effective for decreasing the replication of COVID. So a couple things. I would take your temperature. I would keep fluids, hydration. If things worsen, you go and you get tested because it's essential too that you know if they have antibody tests that are just released that we know we can figure out if you have active COVID, because if you do, we need to know that so that other people around you also know so we can kind of contain the spread of this thing. But basically the initial stages of people who do not have significant risk factors is sleep, hydration, vitamin C at around 1,000 milligrams per day, zinc at around 30 milligrams per day, and lots of bed rest, sleep, rest, relax. And now monitor your temperature. And as symptoms worsen, you also go get yourself tested and you get an antibody test. And most people who get COVID can wait it out at home. They'll get better. It is people with significant risk factors who are overweight, obese, or over 65 who are the ones at the highest risk of having complications. So if you fit that risk profile, that might be the scenario to get in more soon, because what they found is that some of these medications that do work, like the hydroxychloroquine with zinc, for example, combination with a Z-Pak, can help knock this stuff out pretty quickly. IV vitamin C also works for this stuff. So the sooner you can get that. So if you have risk factors, go get tested sooner than later, but just keep yourself in that radio linked on YouTube page and on Facebook too. We'll drop it in the chat on YouTube and Facebook about how, actually, you can just go to our Fit Father Project YouTube channel, Google that. And one of our latest videos is kids immune boosting. We give you the 3 to 4 supplements we recommend kids take, and the research proven, safe, and we give the exact dosages and links to products. So we have a video on that. And yes, the zinc, very important for kids. Vitamin C, very important for kids. And there's also some beta glucans from mushrooms that are great for the immune system. So yes, kids can take those. And also kids have milder symptoms of COVID. They have the higher melatonin production, and COVID doesn't seem to actually trigger kids nearly as much.
I recently had surgery and my doctor's not cleared me for exercise, but I still want to keep myself healthy to avoid catching COVID. What would you suggest I do? Walks.
Remember, exercise is so secondary to daily movement. If you're not cleared for exercise, that was the question. Recently had surgery, not cleared for exercise. What do? Daily walks. And if you have some lower body surgery where you can't walk, I would do breathing exercises. I would YouTube Wim Hof or any kind of breathing exercise and do those breathing exercises. Breathing exercises can actually heal faster from surgery. But I would I would 1, walk, and 2, if I can't walk, I would be doing breathing exercises in a chair. And even just getting the 10 to 15 minutes outside would be great. Even if you can just stand and walk around a little bit, that's totally fine. Walking is your best friend from a health perspective. Next question.
Do you have any statistics of different races or ethnicities being more inclined to catch COVID?
Different races or ethnicities, not off the top of my head. I think there are some differences, but they're very slight. I do know, for example, that Asian people do have higher amounts of the ACE2 receptor that COVID binds to. So they are a little more susceptible. But unfortunately, I do not have those figures. So it's something we can look up to you and get back to you on. But I think it's pretty non-discriminatory. All of us are susceptible.
If I'm a woman and I want to be healthy too, do you have any programs or suggestions?
We do. If you're a woman, you want to be healthy, then I recommend you head over to fitmotherproject.com. It's our women's company. We have a women's weight loss program called Fit Mother 30X. It's absolutely amazing. And even though it doesn't say it on the website, if you email our Fit Mother team at contact@fitmotherproject.com, we'll also give you that 50% off $47 discount.
Takeaways if I feel a little overwhelmed.
Yeah. If you feel a little overwhelmed with the information, I would say the first 2 things to do, especially because we're at home right now with our daily routines, is to take an audit in your life about what kinds of foods you're eating and what healthy foods you can incorporate into your diet. What are the 3 go-to healthy fruits and veggies and healthy foods you can incorporate into your diet? Buy those things in bulk, prepare them in bulk for your family, get those in your body. Second thing, get outside for 3 times a day. If you have backyard, a little sunshine, and move your body as your exercise source. And the third thing is sleep. Get quality sleep. Have a set bedtime, wake up at the same time. Even though our schedules are a little more disrupted these days because a lot of people are stuck at home, not going to work, maintaining a proper wake up and sleep, regimen is essential.
Question from Nick. My dad has to use sunblock when outside due to a history of basal cell carcinoma. Does he still get enough vitamin D from the sun if outdoors for 30 minutes?
Yeah. Okay. So if you have a history of skin cancer, do you get enough vitamin D if you have to wear sunblock? Well, sunblock is going to block the synthesis of vitamin D through the skin. Good news is you can actually synthesize some vitamin D through your eyes. So sunlight directly into the eyes is essential because this actually triggers the whole hormonal cascade in your brain. When your brain senses the light comes in through the eyes, projects into the brain, and we get the sense of brightness. That's enough to be effective. But for your dad, no, he's not going to get the vitamin D synthesis through his skin. So I would recommend actually supplemental vitamin D, probably in the 2,000 IU per day range for him.
Question from Michael about green tea. Can you talk about the benefits and can you drink it cold and hot?
Okay. Changing positions. Yep. Okay. So green tea, talk about the benefits, talk about immune boosting. Well, green tea could have made this list as one of the best immune boosting things. It is absolutely phenomenal. Green tea actually inhibits the replication of many viruses. It's one of my favorite health drinks and actually is associated positively with longevity. So green tea is amazing. Buy organic green tea because you want to make sure that the tea leaves are of high quality. They're not throwing bleaches, dyes, and other crap in the bags and the lining. So get a high quality green tea. You can drink it hot or cold. Doesn't matter. What I personally do is I brew, just to like practice what I preach here. Green tea right here. I brew it in the morning. I drink it throughout the day. It can be hot or cold. I would say that tea should be drank within 24 hours because it can go bad. You know, tea can also oxidize, so I wouldn't expose it. I'd probably keep a lid on it, and you can have it every single day. And if you do it on if you do it, especially if you do some intermittent fasting or a little more on an empty stomach, it can cause a little nausea. Watch out for that. But other than that, it's a great fat burner as well. I would say a couple cups of green tea is one of the best things you can drink.
Shout out to Jax for the thank you for my assistance.
Okay. Shout out to Paige for the assistance. Yeah.
Any other questions?
No. Other questions we have. Well, I want to talk a little bit more. We have questions about the FF30X workout program. Can it be done at home? The answer is yes. For our Fit Father and our Fit Mother programs, all you need are a pair of dumbbells or a pair of kettlebells and around 5 feet of floor space. And this is so important because a lot of people fail on exercise routines that are too complicated. If there's a lot of complication, there's a lot of resistance, it doesn't get done. If you have a 30-minute workout that's spelled out for you step by step, it's safe, it's easy on your joints, and you need basically minimal equipment, you can do it absolutely anywhere. You can do it at home. When the gyms reopen, you could do it at the gym. You can do it while you're traveling on vacation. We need to get you on simple workouts that boost your metabolism and require very minimal equipment. So all of our workouts and all of our programs are designed perfect at home, minimal equipment. So they're ideal for times right now. And that's why our program members are being so successful when a lot of other people are really struggling with their health. Our guys are still kicking butt and our women are still kicking butt because they have simple at-home workouts. Got a question about the nutrition program of FitFather30X. Is this a super low carb ketogenic diet plan? No, it is not. We believe here at the Fit Father Project and the Fit Mother Project, I just happen to be wearing the FFP shirt, repping the guys here, that the best nutrition plan is one you can sustain. And we believe that there's so many beautiful types of foods in the carbohydrate category, in the protein category, in the healthy fat category, that we allow you to eat a wide variety. We're not restricting you down. Because what happens when you go on a super low carb diet? You crave carbs. What happens if you're on a super low fat diet? You just want an avocado or you crave healthy fats. So anything that's naturally restrictive is setting up conflict in your life. And the beautiful part is you can have carbs, obviously the right kinds at the right times, in the right portions, and you can still lose all the weight you want. In fact, we have sandwich recipes inside our Fit Father and Fit Mother Project programs. They use healthy Ezekiel bread. They're under 500 calories. They're incredibly good for your metabolism, and they taste amazing, and you can make them every single day. And we have guys who eat sandwiches literally every day and lose 100 plus pounds, improve all their blood markers, get off prescription medications. So we allow you to kind of have everything. You can't have your cake and eat it too, but you can have healthy carbs. Question.
What if I need to cook for my family and my kids? Will the meal plan still work?
Yes. If you need to cook, the question is, what if I need to cook for a family and kids? We design all of the recipes inside the meal plan to work for your entire family. So we have guys who join the Fit Father Project and then their wives end up eating the same meals. We have advice in all the programs on how to adjust the portion sizes, but these are the exact kinds of foods that are beautiful for helping you raise your kids to be healthy, strong, energetic, and vibrant. So yes, all the recipes are family friendly. And it's actually going to help you guys when you're all eating the same kinds of foods. One, stick to the healthy eating and make it a whole family shift for you. And two, when you do a little bit of the simple meal prep that we teach you how to do, like on Sunday or Monday, your whole week is like simple and done out. And by the way, all the meals in our meal plans take less than 20 minutes of cooking. A lot of them less than 10. So they're very quick and easy because that's also essential. If the stuff is too complicated, it's hard to stick to.
A shout out to FFP and FMP member Lee and Amy.
Okay, shout out to Lee and Amy. Love you guys.
Amy wants you to wear more FMP swimwear.
Yeah, Amy, on it. We're gonna get some really cool Fit Mother Project shirts on Teespring, and I'll start wearing Fit Mother. Give Fit Mother some more love.
Question from Miguel: what if you had lower back surgery 2 years ago and they fused the S1 to the L5? Can you still do these exercises?
Yes, Miguel asked a great question. Can you still do the workout program if you had a back fusion? So Miguel had L5 S1 fusion, and a lot of guys, trust me, after having 20,000 plus guys go through our program, we have a lot of guys with back surgeries, shoulder surgeries, knee surgeries. So what we do is in the workout, we actually have complete routines for each of those issues. We have a back-friendly workout routine that'll be perfect for you, Miguel. We have a shoulder-friendly workout routine if you have a bum shoulder from sports back in the day. We have knee-friendly substitutes. And you actually have our whole coach of myself and our training staff to help modify everything for you. But yes, we design our programs to be incredibly joint-friendly because primarily we're helping guys 40 plus. And, you accumulate joints and injuries and surgeries. So yes, we have modifiers completely that works with your back, and it's actually going to help strengthen the muscles around your back, which will give you more stability as well.
Question from FFP member Michael, and this might be above your pay grade. I don't know. Can you get Ezekiel bread in Australia? I'm from Gold Coast, Queensland.
Can you get Ezekiel bread in Australia? I don't know. We have quite a few guys in Australia who have found it. So actually, I'll ask Michael Bowden and get back. He's one of my favorite Australian FFP members. I think it's possible, but here's what you're looking for. If Ezekiel brand is not possible, I want you to get a sprouted organic bread. The process of sprouting wheat eliminates a lot of these bad byproducts of wheat that makes it problematic. And just a low process sprouted wheat, it might come on a different brand in Australia, but if that meets those characteristics, is totally fine. Another kind of good bread is actually some sourdough. Sourdough is lower in gluten, higher in some of these ferments and like these prebiotics that are really good for your digestion. So a sprouted organic wheat or a sprouted organic sourdough would be incredible. Look for sourdough or look for sprouted organic bread. Doesn't have to necessarily be Ezekiel.
Question from Tommy: viruses are everywhere. Shouldn't we beat this by just going outside? Shouldn't that be the message?
Yeah. Great question. Tommy said, viruses are everywhere. Shouldn't we just beat this by going outside? The long short of it is kind of yes. I mean, if we look at the human genome, around 8% of our DNA genetic material are old viral proteins. We can basically say for our human species, this virus is not our first rodeo. We've had these throughout all of history and time, and it's something that kind of runs through our species. We go through it, we get sick, we develop the immunity, we move on. I don't call the shots, and that's why I don't get political with this, whether or we should or should not be quarantine or social distancing. What I'm really trying to focus is on what can we each do as sovereign individuals to boost our own immune system. But I would say, what I talk about for the last hour is like natural living, getting outside in the sun, eating fruits and vegetables, breathing fresh, clean air. And quite frankly, if we did all get outside, and certain countries are doing this, like I think it's Norway, but some of the Scandinavian countries essentially haven't done any stay-at-home quarantine stuff, and they don't seem to be having higher levels of this stuff than we are. So definitely food for thought. And I think there's a lot of politics around this too. It's not obviously just a virus thing at this point. There's a lot of political posturing. But I'm a fan of getting outside and getting people back to work as quickly as we can.
Ken said, I'm sad I missed the start of this. Hopefully you guys post the link after the fact.
Yeah, Ken is upset he missed the start of this. Ken, we're upset you missed it with us. Good news, this is fully recorded on both YouTube and Facebook. We'll give you the links, everything. And Ken, as you may not have heard either, if you type in your web browser, www.hardertokillplan.com, that gives you our Fit Father 30X program that we talked about, a lot of the elements from that today. And it's amazing. And it's 50% off. It's just $47 for lifetime access. But yes, replays will also be posted, and there'll be links, and we'll probably email those out. If you're on our Fit Father Project or Fit Mother Project email list, we'll be emailing those out as well.
Question, Dr. A, are you going to be doing more live videos?
Dr. A, am I going to be doing more live videos? If you enjoy them, I mean, I really do enjoy them. I love this time to connect, and I have no problem talking for nonstop for like 45 minutes or so. Or it's an hour now. Wow, time flies. Short of it is yes, I will start doing more live videos. My wife also enjoys them for some reason.
It's true. Another question from Tommy. Recovering from 2 herniated discs in my neck. Is there any weightlifting exercises I should avoid now or anything to strengthen those areas? Thank you so much for your advice.
Great. Okay, so Tommy has herniated disc in his neck. Causes a lot of neck pain, very common thing. For most spinal injuries involving the disc, what we want to do is create more, and this is good advice for everyone, especially as we get older, and aging is a process of essentially like dehydrating those discs. And that's why old people shrink, right? You know, my grandma used to be like 5'4", now she's like 4'9". She's just, and she's also almost 100 years old. So, you know, shout out Grandma B. But essentially, we want to create more traction and length in the spine. So things like inversion tables, gentle inversion is really good for creating length through those discs to get the blood flow coming in. Exercises to avoid would be anything that would be probably, I don't know where exactly your bulge is and what direction the bulge is, but a lot of things that are involving direct neck lateral flexion. Sometimes extension exercises can be helpful if they're modest. But I would probably watch out for stuff that does this and stuff that's creating a lot of load directly on the back. So while you're recovering from a neck cervical injury, I probably wouldn't do like back loaded squats. So like with a barbell on your back, but you could do dumbbell squats, maybe with dumbbells on your sides. And you can certainly do isolated motions as long as it doesn't cause you any of that direct radiating pain. But I think that traction on the spine and making sure you're not doing things that are too bouncy and jarring, and you can get that healed up. Another huge shout out to a therapy that is great for neck injuries is called prolotherapy or platelet-rich plasma. They basically inject those ligaments in your neck with a little bit of natural solution that stimulates healing. And those ligaments can tighten up and actually glide that disc back in your neck. It's a good natural therapy. I've used it for back and disc injuries myself back when I was very serious into weightlifting.
And I think we might end on a shout out.
Last question or shout out.
Shout out from Joe, Doc Anthony, and Paige Rock. Keep up the great work. You guys continue to change lives.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I hope you found this valuable. I really enjoyed my time with you today. And obviously, if you're watching this on replay, thanks for being here. We'll be posting links. And again, you can go to www.hardertokillplan.com. And that's where you can get 50% off our men's program. If you're a woman watching this, send our team an email at contact@fitmotherproject.com and we'll get you 50% off our women's program, Fit Mother 30X. God bless you and your family. Implement these things into your life. Start living healthier, not just because of COVID, but because of the rest of your life. And my team and I, we're grateful to have you here. And thank you for being around. And we'll catch you on the next live stream.